The Balaton Massacre, Marc Marquez and the Tiger Eye Theory. There are riders, there are champions, there are legends. And then there is Marc Marquez, a man who doesn't race anymore. He conducts executions on tarmac. What happened today at the Balaton GP wasn't a race. It was a staged massacre, a ceremony, a sermon preached at full lean throttle wide, where the only gospel is speed and the only truth is Marquez. 14 straight wins, 7 weekend sweeps, sprint plus GP, over and over, like a broken record, scratching blood into the faces of every other rider who still believes they're relevant. And here's the thing. This isn't an ordinary winning streak. This is dominance that tears the fabric of MotoGP itself. Nobody can stop him. Nobody even knows how to slow him. Balaton was supposed to be chaos, a new circuit, untested, the first Hungarian Grand Prix since 1992. Fresh asphalt, unpredictable grip, everyone walking in with setups built on simulations and dreams. This was supposed to be the weekend where Marc finally looked human, maybe gave away a crack. Instead, he came in with the tiger eye blazing, a predator already tasting blood before the lights went out. He had the whole shot. He owned turn 1, but for a fleeting second, it looked shaky, too deep. Bezzecchi slipped by, Morbidelli slipped in, and the crowd thought, maybe this is it. Maybe the king finally made a mistake. That thought lasted as long as a blink. Marquez doesn't panic. Marquez doesn't react. He stalks. He let Bezzecchi feel powerful. He let Morbidelli breathe the rare air of second. And then, lap 5, he reset the food chain. Morbidelli? Gone. Diced, sliced, and discarded like trash. In an alley. Bezzecchi? Different story. Bezzecchi is the only man alive who even dares to bring back those ghost memories of prime Marquez, those no-mercy snake-strike chases where the predator never blinks. And here, once again, the lock was made. The tiger eye fixed on the rear of the Aprilia. You could feel it. The way Bezzecchi tightened up, the way his lines went from perfect to desperate. The fear was real. Marquez doesn't just race behind you. He gets inside your skull. He shows you fake lines. He fakes dives. He makes you believe he'll attack at corners where he has no intention of attacking. It's mental terrorism. On one lap, he bluffed at turn 1. Bezzecchi held. On the very next lap, Marquez delivered the real kill at the exact same corner. Clean, sharp, surgical. The kind of overtake where the victim has no excuse, no defense. Bezzecchi was ghosted. From there, Marquez didn't just lead. He left. He ripped a gap that turned the race into a coronation. By the flag, 4 seconds gone. Bezzecchi was left nursing scars, and behind them, Pedro Acosta was clawing. The kid had a nightmare qualifying, a sprint disaster. But when the lights went out for the GP, he came alive, slicing through, hunting, trying to close the gap. He dispatched Morbidelli, he stalked Bezzecchi, and he made it stick with 11 laps left. But by then, Marquez was already 2.7 seconds up the road. And here's the brutal reality. You can be Pedro Acosta, the supposed future of MotoGP, the wonder child, the raw talent, and still, when Marquez is in this mode, you're just another man left staring at a disappearing silhouette. The tiger eye doesn't just hunt the rider ahead, it owns the entire grid. And let's not pretend the rest were even in the same book. Jorge Martin, last year's champ, had to crawl from 16th to 4th. Impressive grind, but grinding for scraps. That's what it looks like when the OG is rewriting the sport. Bagnaia finished 9th, punished, penalized, irrelevant. This man was once Ducati's golden boy, the double world champion, the savior. Now, he's a ghost drifting through long lap penalties, scraping points while the beast he once feared has turned his bike into a weapon of total annihilation. Misano is coming, and Bagnaia doesn't even have the tools to play second fiddle. Let's not downplay the brutality here. This isn't just a winning streak. This is total warfare. Marc Marquez has 7 weekend sweeps in a row. That means 14 straight wins, no interruptions, no stumbles, no cracks. And remember Silverstone? Remember when he ran it too hot and kissed the gravel? He learned. He evolved. He decided. Never again. With Ducati's rocket in his hands, he's found the perfect balance of savage aggression and ice-cold calculation. He pushes to the absolute razor edge, but never past it. He knows when to bluff, when to strike, when to vanish into the distance. And when the board shows 14 wins and counting, you realize he's not just winning races. He's rewriting how a human being can dominate on two wheels. Look around the grid. Who's left to fight him? Bezzecchi gives us flashes, but flashes don't kill storms. Acosta has talent, but talent isn't enough when the man in front is 32, brutal, wiser, meaner, and riding like every corner is his empire. Martin has the heart of a champion, but hearts still bleed when they're ripped open. Bagnaia is finished. Quartararo is buried in penalties and broken promises from Yamaha. The Hondas are limping. Aprilia is scrapping. KTM is hoping. The only man dictating the entire championship, the only man turning every weekend into a rerun of destruction, is Marc Marquez. And here's the poetry. Misano is next. Rossi's backyard. The kingdom of the man who once tried to bury Marquez, who played the dirtiest games in the shadows, who thought his era would outlast the Spaniard. But history doesn't care about Rossi's ghosts. It cares about who rules now. And if this pace continues, if Alex Marquez keeps drowning trying to hold second, if Bagnaia stays vanished, if Martin can't close, then Misano won't be a race. It'll be a coronation. 6 rounds early, the throne reclaimed in the house of his greatest enemy. That's not irony. That's gangster storytelling written in throttle and sweat. The tiger eye theory isn't just a metaphor anymore. It's the truth of MotoGP 2025. Watch him ride and you see it. The unblinking, locked-in predator stare. Rivals try to focus, but they crumble. They know the move is coming. They just don't know when. And that's the horror. It's not the overtake itself. It's the waiting. It's the feeling of inevitability, that you're just holding on to borrowed time before the strike. That's why Bezzecchi cracked. That's why Morbidelli folded. That's why Acosta, for all his courage, never believed he could close a 3-second gap. Because when Marquez decides, it's already too late. This is the Marquez era. Not a comeback, not a resurgence, a straight-up hostile takeover. Ducati gave him the bullet, and he turned it into a warhead. Every weekend sweep is another city burned, another army leveled, another reminder that when you give the most brutal man on the planet the best machine, he doesn't just win, he ends dynasties. Balaton wasn't just another win, it was a massacre stamped onto new asphalt. The first Hungarian GP in 3 decades, and the only name history will remember from it is Marc Marquez. The rest were noise. And as the checkered flag dropped, there was no wild celebration. Just the cold look of a man who knows this isn't even the end game. This is routine now. 14 down, 7 sweeps, the tiger eye still burning. Misano next, Rossi's house, the backyard of ghosts, and Marquez is coming to claim it all. When the OG marches, history bows.